My challenge for today is to get this dang manifold off. I've still got to get this block cleaned up and wire wheeled and primed and painted, but I just can't do that with it being in this state. And I've got to get this manifold off somehow, both manifolds off. So I need to knock these last two loose and hopefully not break them. I've sprayed them down with PB Blaster already, and I highly doubt that'll have any effect. So, we're going to apply just a little bit of heat. Kind of wish I had a math torch. Propane gets hot enough, but can't get stuck if you're a liquid, right? There's still all kinds of crap stuck in here as well. I'd like to get it all out. The engine would stop trying to escape. That's what I'm working with. There's actually not a lot of thread left on it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to hit up the hardware store and get all new bolts. That might have been it. Oh. The whole thing is moving. It's loose. Success. I think I took the whole stud out with it. Kind of the same thing that happened on this one. All right. Betcha I had an exhaust leak. Old gasket just disintegrated. And here's the thing that kept smoking. Was that a very, very old pecan or something? Thank you, squirrels. Look at that heat riser. There's not a lot left of it. Yeah, damn good thing that I'm replacing it, because that's just jacked. I don't know, guys. I'm really not looking forward to my upcoming Craigslist rebuild on this thing with that paint job. There's a lot of dirt, grime. I don't know if there's any actual paint left under all this. There's some blue in there. If I had a local, reasonable machine shop that I trusted with an engine like this, I'd take it over there and just have it hot tanked. But that costs money. I'm gonna level with you guys. This has been an expensive project. Granted, I'm on the single income, no kids kind of budget, which has been nice for a lot of reasons, but vintage Jeep parts end up costing quite a bit. Maybe someday I'll do a budget breakdown and let you guys know the true cost. Now, I know you guys can actually do one of these on a budget. It's possible. You see all kinds of things on YouTube of people doing the cheap junker budget build. Go find any old piece of junk in the nearest cornfield and bring it back around. Doesn't have to look pretty, all that kind of stuff. I ordered this months ago. Waiting for its moment. Oh yeah. It's kind of weird, just like there's some braze on it over here. But all that matters is that it has a functional heat riser. The challenge now is to get the intake manifold off the old one. I don't see how I'm not going to break these. These are so crusty. I can't see this going well. This one has a chance. This one not so much. There we go. PCV is out. I might have to put this in a vise or something. It's funny because for years I was frustrated because I did not have the right tools to do anything. I was kind of useless and I had to always take stuff to the shop or find someone who had the tool, which in my friend circle that was easier said than done. But now I've got a lot of tools. I don't have a place for them. This garage is just a little bit small. All right, I'm afraid to do this. It'll probably just snap, but is that budging? Friends, that might be coming loose. Well, this was the one I'd hoped would come loose, so all right. These are getting replaced. At least I know what to get. See if we can persuade this to come loose. like, oh my god, it spun! No, it broke. I expected this though. Bump it up. I think it came loose. Two out of four. It's actually spinning. Wow, it came out. Ah, that's hot. Yeah, okay. So there's the scoreboard. 3 for me, 1 to the manifold. It's a part stuck on that one stud. Change of venue. Finally. That much. That's all it was. 2 threads. Hold me back. And here is our poor old stuck heat riser. And there is the carnage from inside. I'm hoping I have just enough room to get down in there. Oof. Well, if I had a welder, I'd see if I could just weld a nut on that. Close. There's not much left. Thread gauge says that these are 5/16 coarse. So we'll give them a quick chase. This one's a little crispier. I've got a 3/16 chucked up. Nope, actually that's a 1/4. So hopefully I've got this centered. Hell of a time for the battery and the drill to go.
And I can actually see threads coming through. Maybe I'll get lucky and be able to just push through it. You're in the way. Alright, do that on the charger just long enough, I hope, to get enough to get through this. Alright. Nah. Might have accidentally got bit. It's funny, that's literally all I needed was just a tap. Let's recut these threads. Heavy-handed there with the WD-40 as cutting oil, but it's that last bit down there on the bottom. Yeah, that tap's got a bit of a workout today, but good as new. As soon as I get some new mounting hardware. Guess I wasn't looking closely and I didn't realize this came with a bolt here. I'm assuming this is just to keep this little tab here. Do a quick test fit, old and new. Yeesh, those don't line up on the block side here. There's a, you can't see, what am I doing? There. There's a pretty good sized gap where there wasn't on the old one, but it's Omex, you know, you get what you get. Yeah, the holes mostly line up, so I think we'll be okay. Well, I just couldn't help myself. You guys know me. I really like my sandblasting cabinet. I might have forgotten to mask this part off here, but I'll clean it off with like Scotch-Brite or something. But freshly blasted and primed, and the inside is very well cleaned out. I don't want any grit going into my engine. Also, yeah, I'm still getting all the small parts cleaned up. This is a light dusting first coat on these springs for the shifters. Get a second coat on there soon. Well, taking a break from the engine and manifold shenanigans, I have picked up another bit of new old stock goodness. Overpaid, but whatever. This is the new old stock set of shims. It's the shim pack for that casting on the rear. Since I'm changing out the front one, and since they're all rough castings anyway, I don't want to trust that just the one that was on there is going to be sufficient. So I've got an absolutely correct set of shims so I can get the in play set up once I get those last couple of parts. Speaking of last couple of parts, I did get the new and correct pin for the front in. So that's one, and the greaser, of course, so that's one thing that's out of the way. And as soon as the paint dries on these, just a little bit so I can add the next couple of coats, these are gonna turn out nice. I even have a couple of new, I think they're new old stock knobs for these. I'll leave these in here to dry for a while, but I think these will turn out okay. You know, the more I clean this, the more I look at this, the head on this thing was quite specifically painted red, but it's not just a bright red, it's kind of a maroon. I was told by the guy I bought it from that the previous owner he liked to keep his Jeep just so. You know, he did everything nice. I think that maybe at some point in the distant past, this head was color matched to that body. So when you opened up that hood, this thing would have looked really sharp. That's really in line with what I was told about the Jeep. And I'm starting to see hints of maybe how that was probably back in the 70s. Not so much today, but back in the 70s. After doing just a little bit of cleaning on it, it's not so much a burgundy as it is more like Harvard red, which, if you do the paint archaeology over here, you can see that the engine bay was a much brighter red. It was that Harvard red, not the Luzon red. So, yeah, again, this thing used to look sharp back in the day. I should buy a lottery ticket. Those came right out. No idea what this guy is for. But this will clean up nicely now. I was expecting this clutch disc to be shot, but no, there's actually a little bit of life left in it. You know, in comparison, that clutch actually seems to have a whole lot of life left in it. But I'm going to replace it anyway because, you know, while I'm in here, everything in here is covered in oil. The transmission was leaking for a long time. Look at all these heat marks. Well, I guess on top of the heat marks we see rust and pieces of clutch where it was just stuck here for a long time. I might be able to clean that up and use it as a spare. But I mean, come on. Jeep insurance policy. They're a little bit different, but yeah. I know at some point I gotta go find. There we go. I know I gotta go find a local place that'll resurface the flywheel. Man, this thing is oily. This inside is not exactly securely mounted in there, is it? Borg and Beck. Might have to look into them. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go this far just yet, but I mean, I'm already here. There we go. It's a little bit stouter than I expected, isn't it? Whew. Ah, it was the index. Okay, I see. know, I have never handled a proper flywheel before. This dude is stout. Makes sense, that's what a flywheel does. And now I need to find a nice local shop that can resurface this for me. That'll be probably more challenging than I think. So I dropped the engine. Yeah. As it turns out, when you take the counterweight off of that side, it adjusts the balance just a little bit. Fell off my little cart and spilled a bunch of the remaining coolant everywhere. So, great. Minor setback. But I'm beginning to understand why this front, I guess it's a skid plate or a guard of some kind, but I'm beginning to understand why it's like that. Because I don't think it's the first time someone's had the engine sitting out and it just whoop, tipped over. Well, I gotta take that off anyway and hammer it back into shape. I still gotta drain the oil out of it, jeez. But I'm doing all this bass-ackwards anyway, so that's about as good a place as any to sign off, so I'll catch you guys in the next one. I gotta clean up a mess.